What's going on, guys? Happy Movember. It is November 8th. It is my 100th day since moving to LA. And I want to kind of update you guys on a little bit of everything that's happened since day 50, my last update. Yep, it's been a lot of things that's happened, and so I kind of want to just jump into them. Since we last left off, I was doing a lot better, finding ways to kind of cope with a lot of struggles. So starting out week 8, I have some job opportunities now lining up, having to interview for them, which I'm really excited for. One of them I actually pretty much have for the most part. I just have to shadow and, find that it's a right fit for me and that I'm a right fit for them to make sure everything works out. And it was really exciting. So that was already great. Something was pretty much ready for me. So the second job opportunity was really exciting because for this second interview that I had with them, I had to go in with these 2 prepared assignments. And I love that idea. Instead of just going into an interview and having to just do the normal, why are you a great fit? I'm able to actually prove that I can do the job and bring some incredible things to the table. I really enjoyed that, and it was so much fun. So after completing these 2 interviews and kind of looking forward to the future, towards the end of this week, I also had something else that was really exciting, and that was Thirst Project's 10th annual gala. And I was volunteering for them the day before and the day of. The event was just insane. It's incredible. Again, 10 years in the making. Obviously got to see a lot of people that I've met through the years of Thirst Project or have heard of. Love doing that. And, just seeing everybody that I haven't seen in a while. And it's kind of a family. So obviously get all my hugs in. It was very much needed. Such a busy 2 days. Incredible. Now, week 9's here. And I'm just getting ready for these job opportunities. Hopefully one will land. Obviously I have one that's kind of in the making. Just have to make sure it's a right fit for both of us. But this week I definitely wasn't prepared for what was going to happen. And this is where a theme of just when things are going great, things will happen that are gonna set me back. And my car decides to not work anymore. It won't start, it won't crank over. Really frustrating, being stranded one time. And that's kind of what I use to make any money for the moment. And so now I'm kind of just out of luck. Luckily, I did study automotive in college for a bit. So I did have the skills to kind of find out what was wrong and what needed to be fixed. But it was just a lot. One day that it happened, I was freaking out. My anxiety was getting me. And luckily I did call a friend who just kind of walked me through the steps, get an order, because one of the worst things that I do is just overthink. So instead of just being like, okay, what can I do? It's like, what is going to happen if I don't do this? What is going to happen if I don't have a car? How am I going to get these jobs that may come to me? How am I going to make any money? Where am I going to go? It was not great for me. But my friend helped me. What can you do right now? What is it that you have to do right now? Do those things. I did. But through the day, just one after another, I had to move my car or else it's going to get towed because it was in a place that it shouldn't be. And I just really could not focus anything. Finally, after 2 hours of trying to get it to start, it did start. But I knew the second I would turn it off, it wouldn't start anymore, or it would take another 2 hours. So I'm just trying to think, what can I do? I'm going to take it to a shop, ask them if they can fix it with whatever money I have. Hopefully something can happen. And I go there, leaving my car ready, like, hey, could you do this? No, it's going to be this much. You should go to a locksmith. Okay, fine. Go to a locksmith. Was not helpful at all. I don't think they knew what the problem was, and I would explain the problem to them. It's very frustrating when they're a professional, and I would consider myself an amateur in this. So I also need to get gas. And so I get gas, but I have to turn my car off when you're at a gas pump. And so I'm just like, I hope this will work. If not, my next plan is I'm gonna have to get it towed. And hopefully maybe tow it to a shop. That's exactly what happens. I get there, get some gas in it, and it will not start. And so luckily I have some roadside assistance, and they tow me to a shop that said they could fix it for not that much. with some help from my family, I was able to get it fixed. But it was like a day and a half that it took. They said it was going to be one thing and it was another. That's kind of what I run into when working with shops, and this is kind of why I don't want to be in automotive. I hate that. But anyways, my car is fixed and we're good. The only thing is, what they fixed wasn't going to fix everything, and the problem could happen again. So I need to fix 2 other things or else this will happen again. So I'm just like, great. And those aren't cheap either. The parts are. And so if I figure out how to do it myself, but the parts aren't actually cheap, they're just very inexpensive compared to getting them fixed at a shop. So now, starting at week 10, there's been something that I've been kind of battling for the past 3 weeks that I really needed to get off my chest and like talk to someone about. And it sucked. Like I said, for the past 3 weeks, I've been just internalizing it, and just trying to figure out how to go about this. So anyways, I made a really good friend here, and they've been one of the biggest support systems for me, and we hang out often. We're just very similar, and it's just great to have this friend. And starting out, when hanging out, I was like, okay, the situation I'm in, I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking for dating. I hope, since we're hitting off so well, they're not going to catch any feelings. I just don't want that right now. I don't want to kind of turn down a friendship. I don't want to change kind of anything that's going to happen. I can't focus on that right now. So I hope they don't catch the feelings. So selfish of me, thinking that they're going to catch feelings for me, because I'm the fool who did. So basically, I saw that I wanted, more. I started having romantic thoughts. And this really didn't even happen until probably a month and a half in of our friendship. So we have a great friendship, and we rely on each other, and we support each other, and it's great. And these feelings kind of just came out of nowhere for me. And it sucked because, the best case scenario is they feel the same way and we can figure something out. But worst case scenarios was I kind of let them know this, and 1, being rejected, get over that. But 2, losing a really good friend. And so the best worst case scenario was being rejected and still being able to be friends. But it was really scary for me. And again, so this kind of happened around week 7 or 8. So for a few weeks, this is kind of what was going in the back of my head. I did have some things to keep me busy, but once kind of things were just slowing down, I couldn't stop thinking about it, and it was kind of hijacking some of my days. And so I was like, I need to tell them. I don't know how to tell them. I don't know if I really want to. The fear of losing a friend right now was at the top. And so to save a friendship, I just didn't want to have the conversation, but I needed the conversation. It was eating me up so badly. And this sucks. I didn't really want to have feelings for someone when I'm still working on myself and trying to build myself up. This just doesn't seem like the right time. So again, we're on week 10, and I decided I have to tell them. There were always so many times that I wanted to, and I would plan out the time that I would have to tell them, because it has to be the perfect time. I want to make sure that everything's right, and I want to make sure that I'm not trapping them when I tell them. I don't want to put them in a position where, one, they can't leave or whatever. I want to make sure that it's comfortable. But the thing is, there is no perfect time. There were no times where I could find, okay, this was a really great day, let's end it on this note. No, I had to plan for it. I had to let them know, like, hey, I need to talk to you at some point tonight. It's not an emergency, but I would like to talk to you. So we met up, and I told them, and man, what a relief. And again, since they're such a great friend, they said, thank you for telling me. I'm sorry that you have to go through this. And I wish I could give you an answer, but I still want to be friends. I don't want this to mess our friendship up. And so I was like, okay, that's good. That's great. The biggest fear of losing the friend isn't happening. So I'm glad. And we just have to kind of figure out how to go from here. Or at least for myself, I have to figure out how I can go moving forward. But after that, you know, we hung out still afterwards, and things were good. Things were good. And so moving on, that week too, for one of the job opportunities, the one that I shadowed, when I shadowed it, it was exciting. And I was like, this is cool. And at some point during this event that I was shadowing, I wasn't excited. And I started questioning in that moment, why am I not excited right now? This is amazing. This is cool. You're going to be paid to do this at some point. And just being at this event was pretty inspiring. But I couldn't see myself doing it. But I shadowed again for another day, and hoping that it would kind of change my perception. And maybe it was just getting cold feet. The more shadowing I did, I kind of realized, I don't think I want this. I think I could do this for a bit and then move on to the next thing, but I'm tired of doing that. And there was nothing wrong with this opportunity, this job, what they did in the organization. They are amazing. I just found that it wasn't going to be a long-term thing. And I couldn't see myself just putting in half the work or half the passion into something and then eventually leaving. I'm tired of doing that. I want to give 110% to something that I really like. So I reached out and I told them this isn't going to be an opportunity for me, and I don't see myself being at my best here. And the person that kind of set me up with all this was like, okay, well, you know, you could work a couple events, you can make some money, whatever you need, we can make this work for you. And it kind of sucked because they really needed someone, and I could do the job, but the job wasn't going to be something that I really wanted to do and stay around to do. And I think it was going to be more draining that I was putting on a front or kind of acting for the job that it was enjoyable. Because it was a very high energy job, which was exciting, except I think I would have to prep myself to be excited. And I kind of want to go in and be excited. I just want to be. So I had to just let them know there's nothing wrong with your organization. I just don't think it's a great fit for me at this point. And it sucks because I finally had something, but I didn't want to pick something out of necessity. I've done that enough. I'm making it now, barely, but I'm still making it, and I know the right thing will come, and I know when it will be the right thing because I won't question it. Because I questioned this because I knew it was out of necessity that I needed a job, and they were excited for me, but I also have to be excited too. And around this time too, the other opportunity where I kind of created assignments for the interview, I haven't heard from them, so I'm guessing that I probably didn't make the cut. However, that was fine with me because during the end of that interview, just because it wasn't very structured in kind of the hours and how the job works and the content of what I'd be dealing with would be very heavy, which I am happy to work with. However, I don't think that's going to be the best for me. And so basically this week, I learned that these jobs have to be a great fit for me, and I can't make a decision out of necessity, which sucks because, like I say, I need a steady income. So now moving on to week 11, I pretty much hit a low, just kind of thinking about everything that happened the week before. I turned down a job, and I did get an email that I was rejected for being considered for the other job. So now I didn't really know where to go because those two were like, one of these are going to happen and I'm going to be set and I'm good. And now starting all over. And, you know, so being rejected from one job and turning down a job and kind of being rejected from the friend who I caught feelings for, while still continuing to be friends. So a lot of things were happening, and I really didn't know how to process a lot of it. So I kind of just shut myself out on looking for things to be excited for, being passionate about something. I just really didn't want to fall into something that just wasn't going to work out. So I decided for this week that I'm just going to put everything on pause. Stay in the moment, work on things that I'm excited to work on that come by, but I'm not really going to be looking for anything. This whole week, it just kind of felt like I lost myself. Everything that I knew that I wanted, or everything that I knew that I was ready for, just wasn't happening. So I just, again, decided to not create any more stresses in my life and kind of not look for things to be excited for. Again, if exciting things happen, I'm going to be excited about them. But I was just kind of over having these expectations and everything kind of just not meeting them. So the beginning of week 12 now, I decided I'm going to take a day off from just everything and go to one of my favorite hikes for a sunset and kind of take this night to just work on anything that I want to work on, think, whatever I need to do. So I went up to my favorite hike called the Wisdom Tree, and it's great. You have a great view of the whole city, and it's not crowded, so it's a good time for yourself. And I journaled a lot up there, and I kind of wrote down some goals that I wanted to meet and how I'm going to meet these goals, and started meditating as well. I was up there for about 3 good hours, and it was just one of the best things I've done for myself lately. With these goals that I created, I knew that I wanted to be more intentional. So starting this week, everything I did was going to have an intention. And there was no expectation of meeting each goal or whatever, but trying things out. So like one of the first things was have a morning routine. There's probably a good about hour and a half or 2 hours before I just start my day, where I kind of just lay in bed, maybe roll over, look at my phone, maybe try to go back to sleep, and I do nothing. And so I'm not resting, so I might as well be a little bit more productive in this day. And I know any day that I start doing things, I feel better about myself. While I was having all this time for myself, I kind of looked out to the view of everything and just saw the city, and it was kind of really amazing and a very emotional moment. And to myself, I said, you wanted this. You wanted to be in LA for so long. I did it. I did it. I made it here. This is one goal that I wanted, and I did it. And I had to tell myself that I did that. While there's more goals and more things I want to achieve, I did achieve one, and I needed to recognize that. So with everything that I had planned, I had this new morning routine that I wanted to just try out, where every 30 minutes I do something that is either going to improve something in my life. One of them was just the second I wake up, I just go for a walk for 30 minutes, just around the neighborhood. I just wanted to have a clearer mind. I didn't want to waste time of when I wake up. I just wanted to act and do. And it was great, just walking around the neighborhood, having that moment to think about what I wanted to do in the day, or maybe just think about what I see passing by, not having any intentions of doing anything besides just walking and enjoying the walk. And then the next 30 minutes, I spent 15 minutes of journaling and 15 minutes of meditating. And then the next 30 minutes I spent on learning Spanish. I've been trying to learn Spanish, so I use Duolingo. Then the next 30 minutes I spent watching a couple TED Talks, so just spending some time to be motivated. And then the next 30 minutes, I allowed myself time to get on social media, watch any YouTube videos that's just fun or funny, anything that I would do as I wake up and waste time on. So that was great. And that day was exciting. And one thing I also told myself from the very beginning, no matter what happens this week, if anything bad will happen, because it just does anyways, it's not going to ruin this momentum that I have. And so, sure enough, this third day of this week, my car broke down again. This time it's never the perfect time, but this was just like, it can't happen now. I was in a parking lot for a brief period for like quick 15 minutes, and I had to leave in that 15 minutes or else I'll start getting charged per hour. And my car wouldn't start. And I'm like, great, I need to get out. I can't. And as I'm trying to turn my key, I snap the key and break it in the ignition. And I'm just like, no, why? But my car started as I did that. It was really strange. So the car started, I jet out there, try to figure out what's happening at this moment. So I go to an auto parts store, and I basically had this idea of kind of rewiring my car. I've looked up some videos. I kind of know how to do that. Again, I studied automotive, but I really exited out once we got to the electrical systems. It's not what I like. The computer systems, not what I like. I'm more mechanical, but I understood what could be done. I just really haven't done it before, rewiring things, and that's scary. You could really mess up your car. But I was like, this is the time. I have to do it now. Again, once I parked this car and turned it off, it's not moving anywhere. My key is broken. Oh boy. So I get the parts and I get the stuff that I need, which was very cheap. And I'm working on this for a good hour and a half. It should only take 20 minutes, but it was dark and it doesn't work. And I'm just like, great. Okay. This momentum, this positive momentum I'm going to continue to have. And I need to have this in moments like this, because when I start freaking out and thinking about all the things that could go wrong, if this doesn't work out, I don't get anywhere. So I just think about, okay, what can I do next? Well, I'm pretty sure rewiring all this is how to do it. I can't see at night with just a little flashlight. We're going to work on this tomorrow, and I can get towed again to my place. So I tow my car, and I say, this is tomorrow's problem. I'll figure it out tomorrow. And I was fine. And then the next morning, with just a clearer head and kind of, I was like, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I did it. I fixed my car. Now I have a push button start car. And I had a spare key, and so everything was fine. And really, I was so excited, so happy that what I thought was kind of just a waste of money, besides sometimes being able to fix my cars, going to school for automotive, I think paid off the most this moment, because man, I did not need to be at another low. I was coming up on a high, and I fixed my car, and I was so proud of myself. I can't believe I'd done this. It's great. So after my good win, let's move on to week 13. And over the past few weeks, I think since week 10, when I told my friend that I had feelings for them, and we said, okay, we still want to remain friends. Those feelings didn't end, and we remained friends, and we continued to hang out and support each other. And it was easier for me. It was great that I finally let this go and that it's out on the table and they know this. However, pretty much every day, from week 10 to now week 13, there was a point in the day at some point that these feelings would come up, either when I'm around them or for the most part when I'm not. For the most part, when I was not around them, I couldn't stop thinking about them. And this was just bothering me and festering up. And again, I was kind of just torturing myself think about what could go wrong if I do want to talk about this again. I know they said that they're going to still be my friend. I didn't want to continually bring this up, and I didn't want them to think I can't get over this and not continue a friendship. But it was really hard. And like I said, it was just eating me up inside. Because at this point now, I couldn't stop thinking about them. Any stupid song on the radio, every love song is the one thing I just didn't want to hear. So I couldn't listen to music, which was great. Because that's one thing I really love in my life is music. It helps with a lot of things. There's points where I would just lose my appetite. Now I would still eat and everything, but I just wasn't hungry. And I would just break down a lot through each and every one of these weeks. And this wasn't healthy for me. And so finally, like I said, we're on week 13 and I couldn't take this. I couldn't hold this in anymore. I needed to let them know that I wasn't okay. And we kind of left off on a very unclear, not definitive answer. And at this point, I'm pretty much in love, which sucks. Again, it's so funny. When we first met, I was like, I hope they don't fall for me. And again, I'm the fool who did fall for them. And I don't want this. I didn't want this. Just because the place I'm in, I don't feel the most comfortable. I don't feel like I have the time to focus on something like this. And I finally reached out to them towards the end of week 13 to let them know that I'm not doing okay. It sucked because there were days where I tried to keep some distance and those felt worse. And then any day that we did hang out, sometimes it was fine. It didn't really hijack the moment of just being with a friend and enjoying it, but more so the end of that moment, the end of that day. And so I needed to get this off my chest. So we met up, we talked, and they reassured me, they're not going anywhere unless I need them to, which was really nice. Because that's just the biggest fear is losing a friend over something that I can't help or I can control. And we talked about it, and I think we're at a better spot now. They don't feel the same, and that's fine. I can't blame them for it. I can't blame myself that I'm in this position. This just happens. And again, this friendship means so much to me that I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to resent them. It's just not going to be easy to get over this, especially with someone who's very close to me. I'm just so happy that I have this friend that honestly, really hard situations for me and for them doesn't really change the friendship. I mean, I think there's things that are going to change about it, but they're still going to be my friend. And I'm just really happy for that. So finally, this last week now, we're on week 14 of the 100 days. And I just try to keep myself busy this week. Try to look for things that is going to bring me happiness. And, there were 2 times this week where my anxiety really got me with just kind of everything that's been happening. Things I've not been able to get over, things I'm not coming to terms with. And so I had 2 episodes this week that I had to just kind of work through. Luckily, I think it was day 35 that I had like one of these episodes last. And I at least knew when to ask for help and if I needed it. I didn't in these moments. I didn't think I need them. But they were hard and I just had to get through that. But again, now we're on day 100. I know a lot of this seems pretty heavy, but I am really excited what's coming now. Actually, this next coming week, I have a temporary job opportunity that will last towards the end of this year. 1, it's gonna pay me a good amount, better amount than I make now. And 2, I'm actually gonna work with, an artist that I'm really excited to work with. It's gonna be on a show. I'll probably give more details later when I can. Nothing too grand that I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be helping out working on building things. So I'm really excited for it. Meet more people and be around, exciting and creative minds. I think this is really what I need and I'm really excited for. And some other things that I'm really happy for right now is I've been working out a lot and I've been eating healthier. And even with everything going on, that's been one thing that's been great for me. And I'm at a really good physical point right now. I've lost a good amount of weight. So much that now none of my clothes fit me. Good problems. And I'm able to get new clothes now that can fit me well and that I feel better about. And not only just do I look and feel better, but me working out and doing the things that I do, I can do things that I haven't been able to in a while, whether it's a pull-up, whether it's run longer than a mile. So there's uses out of this. I'm excited to go rock climbing at some point, start that back up. Honestly, I'm in a very good spot right now. Some days, some things hit me. Emotions are gonna hit me. But like I said, this new job opportunity is gonna be great. I'm gonna be working 60 hours a week, so I'm gonna be too busy, I think, to even think about everything. I have some other hobbies that I wanna start picking up and learn. I'm really just excited to learn a lot of things, and while I have the time to do that, I'm gonna work on that. So anyways, again, I think this video is probably long, just like the last one. But there's just a lot that I needed to share with everyone that I really wanted to. And I wanted to do this again because the last time I did the 50-day update, I had a lot of great responses. Whether that be, people cheering me on, other people reaching out for advice, which I was like, okay, I don't think I'm the best person for advice. However, it was great to give any advice. And other friends who are just going through similar things, and that we could have that conversation. And I was able to open up a conversation that, besides the video that I created, wasn't really able to have. So again, if anybody would like to reach out, talk about any of the subjects that I've kind of gone over, or anything that they're dealing with, I'd love to. This isn't my profession, but I think as people, we need to have these tough conversations more often with people that we trust and that we want to have them with. And so I'm just really excited what the future is going to bring. And even through all the crazy stuff I've been going through, man, the universe is testing me and I'm okay with it all. I'm growing so much from it and it's paying off. It doesn't pay off in the moment. Sometimes it doesn't even pay off a month or two later, but I know somewhere down the line, what I'm going through is going to help me or someone else. So that's enough for me. So again, thank you all for listening to this. I really appreciate it. I don't know if there'll be another 50-day update. Maybe there'll be sooner. I'm really not putting any expectations on this. I still do want to make a video kind of about my experiences with the AmeriCorps and Thirst Project. I'll get to those when I just have a clearer mind to do those things. But I really do want to share about those. So again, thank you guys. Have a great day.